to the battle. Put our armor on, draw our swords. Let's run to the battle. Shout loud and glorify the Lord. Let's run to the battle. Put our armor on, draw our swords. Let's run to the battle. Shout loud and glorify the Lord. Come on, run. Let's run. Let's run. Run.
Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about embracing fatherhood at the different stages of life. My wife Amy and I have 7 children, 2 boys and 5 girls. We love each one of them dearly. It's amazing how 2 people can have children together and have each of our children be so different from each other. Now, obviously you can tell they're all siblings because they have some similarities in the way that they look, but their personalities are different. Their likes and their dislikes are different. Their giftedness is different. And it was fun to watch those differences come alive as they grew up. One of the things that my wife and I would look for in raising them was finding their talents and their interest. The Bible calls it their bent. Actually, in Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6, the Bible says to train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. And that word there, to train, is to teach them. It's to give them direction and instruction. And then that phrase, in the way he should go, is literally how they should live. It's teaching them the difference between right and wrong, setting them onto the right path, and specifically, the path or the way that is appropriate for them individually. Now, obviously, there is a right path, right, as far as salvation goes and serving the Lord, and we must lead them down that path early in life, right, before the ways of the world gets their attention. But there's also a meaning here that is specific to each individual child, and that's what is called their bent. As fathers, we are to find out each of our children's bent, right, what they're good at, what they're interested in, what their talents are, and help them down that path. It could be musical talent, it could be technology or computers or science or sports or anything that they're bent towards. Now, in my family, we happen to be a musical family, so when we realized one of our sons had very good rhythm early in his life, we helped him down that path by getting him a drum set, and he actually went on to become a professional drummer for years, and he was used on the local church praise team. It's just awesome to see God using him and his talent in that way. Well, one of our daughters loved the piano, so we saw that talent in her early in life, and we bought her a keyboard, and still to this day, she plays beautifully. Others were talented on the guitar, and others in sports. They ended up playing college baseball. Others in other ways, right? But always finding what they were bent towards and then helping them down that path. Now, having said all of that as a foundation, I want to talk about embracing fatherhood at the different stages of their lives. As each year would pass by, we knew that the time would come when they would spread their wings and fly. That's a very bittersweet thought, but now that they're all grown and out of the house, we find that we're very pleased and we're very thankful that they each love the Lord. And they've made wise choices in their spouses and where they live and where they attend church and what they do for work and all those very important decisions and choices that we make in life. We raise them to be what I call grown and gone, right? And able to stand on their own. And as they've grown, we have found that our relationship with them has changed. Even though we're still their parents, we've also become best friends. They all have to learn to stand on their own. They still come to us, right, from time to time with questions and for advice, but they have to make their own choices. We're here as sounding boards for them. They bounce things off of us, but our relationship has changed to the point to where we're not telling them, what to do like we did when they were children. We simply give them advice, and we make suggestions, and obviously we remind them of what the Bible says about that choice or that decision that they need to make. But ultimately, they're the ones, right, that has to be responsible and make their own final decisions and to be accountable to God for those decisions. And then, in most families, you become a grandparent, right? Your relationship with your child, who is now a parent themselves, it changes again. Now you have the opportunity to pour into your grandchildren the morals and the values that you poured into your own children. And hopefully, you're doing that with the permission and the support of your children who are now parents themselves. It's wonderful to have a close relationship with each of our children that has lasted throughout their upbringing and into their adulthood. It's a very different relationship, but it's one that I love. I remember the days years ago, I was working out in the yard with my boys, and I looked up and I saw a young man in my yard. And I paused just for a moment and I wondered who that was. It only took another moment for me to realize that was my son. And I stood there and I cried as I realized how quickly he had grown up and how he had become a man. I asked myself the question standing there in the yard, how did I get here so fast? It just seems like yesterday that he was just a tiny little boy. And now he was a young man. I had this feeling of gratitude to the Lord for allowing me to raise him and to be his father. Men, listen, we need to embrace our fatherhood throughout the different stages of life, from the time that they're babies and they're toddlers and they're little children all the way into adulthood. And I'm asking you right now, don't miss it. Your boys are going to grow up faster than you think. Don't miss out on the opportunities that you have right now to pour into them, to instill the morals and the values into them, to help steer them down the right path, and to train them up in the ways of the Lord. They will be grown and gone before you know it.
Run to the battle. Put your armor on, draw your sword. Let's run to the battle.